Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Inain's Forensic Classroom. In the last video, we explored how forensic science laboratories, that's FSLs, are organized in India and abroad. Today, we are going a step further. I want to take you inside these labs and show you how they actually work. So in today's video, we will be talking about functioning of forensic science laboratories. I will explain what happens when the evidence reaches the lab, how it is examined, and how it eventually becomes a scientific report that can make or break a case. By the end of the video, you will learn how these FSLs function. So here's the thing, the forensic science doesn't only support the investigations, it actually leads the investigation in many cases. For example, from brutal murder cases to high-tech financial frauds, what happens inside these labs can literally determine the outcome of the justice. Now let's start from the beginning. The police officer gets a call from the crime scene. Okay, and they arrive at the crime scene. What they do at the crime scene is they collect the evidences and then send the evidence to the FSL. They have to make sure that these evidences are not tampered with anything, because if the evidences are tampered, they will be inadmissible in the court of law. So when the police or the investigating officer collect the evidences from the crime scene, they have to follow very strict rules. They have to seal the evidence, label it, and then send it to the forensic science laboratory along with the forwarding letter. This forwarding letter should have all the details describing the case. Now here's where the chain of custody concept also comes in. Chain of custody. So chain of custody is basically a record that actually tracks who has handled the evidence at every step. So from the crime scene to the courtroom, whoever has handled the crime, whoever has handled the evidences, they should write their name and the time in the chain of custody report. Think of it like a security log for evidence. If at any point someone breaks this chain, even by the accident, the evidence can become unreliable or even inadmissible in the court. So keeping this chain intact is very important. Now, once the evidence is reached safely in the lab, it is assigned a unique case number. The evidence, when it reaches the FSL people assign a particular case number to the case, and then they send it to the relevant division, whether it's biology, chemistry, ballistics, cyber forensics, or fingerprints. Now all of these divisions have a step-by-step lab process. Every FSL follows a structure process. First is the evidence is submitted to the FSL. As I mentioned, the police officer submits the evidence carefully, which is sealed and labeled along with the forwarding letter. Now, once the evidence is submitted, the scientific examination process begins. Now, the forensic experts, they analyze this evidences using some specialized tools and techniques that are present in the lab. And once the examination is done, the report should be prepared. This report is very important because this is taken to the court of law. The scientists should document each and everything about the evidence, what they observed, what methods they have used, and what results they have found. And once the report is prepared and sent to the court, the expert testimony is also given by an expert. The scientist may appear in the court in order to explain their findings to the court of law. So each division in the lab, they handle specific type of evidences. I'll give you an example. If, for example, you have blood, semen, saliva, hair, or any other biological samples that you have got as an evidence, all of these biological evidences will go to the biology and serology division of the FSL, where all of these evidences are examined, and sometimes DNA profiling is also done in major cases, for example, rape, murder, or paternity cases. Now, for example, you get evidences like glass, soil, paint. All of these evidences will go to the physics division of the FSL. These evidences are usually found in the cases like burglaries or hit and run cases. The physics division will take up the evidences, and then they examine these evidences using some specialized tools and techniques, followed by the report preparation, and then they go to the court of law in order to give their expert testimony to explain their findings. So this is how the FSLs function. All of these divisions, they work together like a finely tuned machine in order to uncover the truth that are hidden in the evidence. Now, we have already discussed the lab hierarchy in India in the previous video. You know that FSLs operate at different levels. You know that we have CFSLs at top, which are managed by the central government under the Directorate of Forensic Science Services. So the CFSLs, they are at the top level. They usually handle more complex cases, high profile cases, and they also have advanced techniques, so they are able to perform advanced analysis on the evidences. Then after CFSL, we have SFSLs, which operate at this state level. So these SFSLs, they handle your daily routine cases, daily routine local cases. If you have some complex cases present in the FSL and we are not able to do the proper analysis, these evidences can be sent to the CFSLs for the expert analysis. Now, in simple terms, CFSLs work at the national level. They are bit advanced, and they usually handle big cases, whereas SFSLs operate at the state level and handle the everyday cases. Now, these labs also have some challenges and limitations. Of course, running a forensic lab isn't always smooth. Many labs, they face some challenges. For example, they have backlog of pending cases. Then they also have shortage of professionals, and they have some limited modern equipment. All of these are actually the challenges and limitations that they face in the forensic science laboratories. So even the most careful work has its own limits. Samples can also get contaminated at the crime scene. They can degrade over time in the labs, or human errors can also be present in the interpretation of the results. So in order to sum it up, an FSL isn't just a lab. It is a place where every sample is treated like a silent witness, and every scientist's goal is to let the evidence speak the truth. Now, the evidence goes through a journey. First, it is collected from the crime scene. Then it is submitted to the FSL, where it is examined. The examination is done. Then the scientists generate a report, which is then taken to the court testimony, which is given by the experts. So here you will actually see how the FSLs function from submitting an evidence to the court testimony, how the evidences are actually processed in the forensic science lab. I hope you found this video insightful. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you have questions, please drop in the comments below. I would love to hear from you all. That's it for today. See you in the next one. Bye bye.